guys, welcome back. So today we're going to go over this awesome Maserati we have in the shop. I'm going to do a full foam wash on it today using our 2-bucket method. But before I get on to the foaming part and washing the vehicle, I want to go over some questions that most of our customers and viewers do have about the foam cannon and the foam gun and address those, so hopefully it'll help you out with your foam cannon or if you're looking to purchase one. So to start off, the foam cannon is usually referred to something that is connected to your pressure washer. So our Torque foam cannon needs a pressure washer to use it. And then there is the foam gun. So when we refer to something as a foam gun, we're referring to like our Torque foam blaster. The Chemical Guys Torque foam blaster connects to your standard garden hose, and you can basically add your soap and you don't need a pressure washer to use this. So if you don't have a pressure washer at home, or maybe you have both like I do, you can use this one when you don't want to haul out your pressure washer, but you still want to have some foam. So one big thing that I want to cover with the foam blaster is this little piece right here. So every time a customer gets this, not every time, but sometimes we get a question is that it's not fitting on your garden hose and you're not sure. This is your standard quick release. So if you have a quick release on your garden hose, this is what that connects to make it easy when you're transitioning to maybe you have a fire hose nozzle and then you have this and you have something else for watering your plants. It makes it easy to take off and switch whatever device you're using. So if you don't have a quick release, this simply just comes right out, and as you can see, that connects to your garden hose. Sometimes people don't realize that needs to come off, and I wanted to make sure to cover that. So the foam cannon, as such, like I said, this connects to your pressure washer, and I already have it pre-filled with water, and I'll show you how to fill this with soap after. So another question we get with the foam cannon and the foam gun is, can I just spray it and rinse? Do I still have to wash after? Basically, what does the foam do and how does this wash experience happen? So with the foam cannon and the foam blaster, you can do just a foam wash. So more with the foam cannon because it's going to produce a lot of suds. What it does is when you're foaming your vehicle, you're creating a layer of lubrication and you're putting that suds and soap onto your surface. Now by doing that, you're creating a great layer of lubrication, so if you do have to wash. When do you have to wash with the wash mitt? Well, if your car is very dirty and there's a lot of contamination, bird droppings, whatever may be on it, and you can see that, or dirt and dust, maybe a little bit of mud, that you're definitely going to want to use a wash mitt after and your 2-bucket wash. Sometimes if you wash your car every weekend and it doesn't get very dirty, you don't have to. You can definitely just spray and rinse and you'll see it does a great wash. Some people say they don't do that because they think you still need a mitt, but honestly the amount of lubrication and how the soap reacts to your surface, you can actually, and it's a pressure washer, you can actually just foam and rinse. So the two options are you can foam it and then rinse it if it's not too dirty, it's just lightly dusty, or you can do a foam wash, full wash with your 2-bucket and your wash mitt. So today I am doing a wash mitt 2-bucket wash along with the foam cannon because this car is very dirty. As you can see, there's a lot of dust and dirt, and I like to make sure that it's completely washed and I get all that stuff off of there. And like I've said before, we're really close to the airport, so there's a lot of industrial fallout and stuff that does get on the vehicle, so I want to make sure it's extra clean for the next step of the detail process. So I have filled my foam cannon, like I said, with water. Another question we get is how much soap to use. My foam isn't as thick as yours. We put about 2 to 3 ounces of our choice of soap in the foam cannon, but if you decide you want more suds, just add more soap. That's basically it. If you just want to add more, add more. So I chose today to do Glossworks Auto Wash. So Glossworks is a great soap. It is going to provide gloss for the surface. So sometimes when you have a car, like for example, a black vehicle, you aren't sure what to use or what kind of soap. Sometimes people want to see if either by just using a soap, you can provide a great amount of gloss that maybe you don't have to do paint correction or even add a wax. So the reason I chose Glossworks is because I want to see what kind of great results I can get on this black vehicle. And with my experience with Glossworks, you're going to see an amazing depth and gloss in the surface that we may not even need to do anything further other than maybe a clay bar. So that's why I chose Glossworks, and you can use Glossworks in your traditional bucket if you don't have a foam cannon or a foam gun, or you can also use it in those as well. So I'm going to add my Glossworks to my foam cannon. Now with your foam cannon, the soap is at the bottom, so you can always shake it up a bit to make sure that you have it completely spread through your foam cannon. It's not necessary, but it is a good option. So I also have my 2 buckets set up. So a normal 2 bucket wash means that you're gonna have 1 wash bucket and 1 rinse bucket. So to further make sure I don't scratch the vehicle surface, a lot of times you'll see a car that has a lot of scratches. If you look closely to your car, I bet you it has a lot of scratches and swirls in the paint. That is usually caused either during the wash process or even the drying process. So if you don't have the proper tools or steps in washing, you're going to cause some scratches. So the reason I have 2 buckets is one is my wash bucket. So I'm going to have the soap in here and I'm going to put the mitt in there first. And then when I get off of the vehicle from washing it, I'll put it into my rinse bucket. So using the Cyclone dirt traps, putting them at the bottom of the bucket, we'll be able to trap all the dirt, debris, any particles at the bottom of the bucket and not in my wash water or even my rinse water. Now the Cyclone dirt traps fit into your standard 12-inch diameter buckets. So if you have our Chemical Guys heavy duty buckets or you have other ones, they'll fit perfectly at the bottom. If your bucket is a little bit wider at the bottom, don't worry if it sits a little bit higher, it still works. As long as it stays snug, it'll still capture it at the bottom. And the 2 colors is obviously to differentiate between the wash and the rinse bucket. Just remember which one's your wash color and which one's your rinse. So I'm going to do red as my wash, and I'm going to add some soap in there as well. And the reason I added that is just in case I want some extra lubrication and extra washing when I do put my wash mitt inside the bucket. I have some soap in there to do so, and to also know that that's my wash bucket. All right, now I'm going to rinse off the vehicle first, and then I'm going to connect my torque foam cannon, and then we'll get to washing. So we finished washing the car. I dried it up with our woolly mammoth towel, and it looks amazing. From what you can see, the car looks really shiny. This black paint is a gloss that you're looking for. But one thing I wanted to point out is that I see all the time in cars, and I'm sure you've seen, even at car shows or even just in your own personal vehicle, it looks great from far, but when you look up close, I'm going to use this light, you'll see there's all kinds of scratches and swirls in the paint. So what we want to do is we want to make sure to address that and show you how to remove the scratches and swirls in this black paint with just a one-step process. So before you want to get to your polishing, you definitely want to make sure to clay the surface. It doesn't sound so rough if you hear that, if you can. It actually feels smooth, but you still want to clay it because there's definitely some contaminants on there. So to make sure before you get into your polishing. So even though it looks great from far, we want to make sure to address the scratches and swirls. So stay tuned for the next video where we show you how to clay, and then we're going to show you how to do a one-step polish on this to remove the scratches and swirls. So if you love your car, keep it clean with Chemical Guys, and we'll see you next time.